Chapter 17. The four friends had trekked through the scrub woodlands all afternoon, their shadows lengthening in front of them, heralding the onset of evening. It had been a still, hot day, and the going was slow in the heat. Rose wiped her brow as she caught up with Palom. Martin had been clearing ahead with his shrew sword.
Whew. It'll get a little cooler as night falls, but then we'll lose our front shadows in the dark.
They waited as Grum caught up with them. The mole blinked as he wiped the moist tip of his nose. Be cooler underground. Cousins are going to make camp soon, Martin.
Good idea, Grum. We deserve a rest. Where do you suggest we camp?
I don't know. What say ye, Miss Roser?
The mousemaid stood on tip-paw looking around.
Straight ahead, I'd say. It looks less scrubby, and the trees are taller, like a proper forest. Let's camp by that old dead oak.
A slow smile spread across Palom's face.
Do you mean that old dead oak with the 3 tops?
Rose clapped her paws together as she recited the lines.
Follow your front shadow. Do not stop till you reach the one with dead 3 top. That's it! An old dead 3-topped oak. Come on!
They lay in a mossy hollow at the base of the long-dead forest giant, eating supper and looking up at the night sky. Above the woody canopy, countless stars bejeweled the dark velvet expanse, and a silent, fiery-tailed comet flashed across the peaceful scene. Rose picked at a small carrot and turnip farl as she passed the canteen of mint and lavender cordial to Martin.
Well, we found the dead 3-top easy enough. Tomorrow we'll look for the twin Pats. Oh, I do hope Brom and Feldo are all right. I'd hate to think of us lying here eating if they needed our help.
Martin took a sip from the canteen.
Trust Polikin's words, Rose. There's nothing else we can do. Brom is young, but Feldo will look after him. He's a warrior.
The mousemaid looked at the short shrew sword sticking in the ground close to Martin's paw, where he could reach it quickly.
What's it like being a warrior? I don't know, really.
Martin shrugged.
I won't consider myself a warrior until the day I take my father's sword back from Badring.
Rose tossed a piece of her bread. It bounced off Martin's nose.
Silly. Of course you're a warrior. Even Polikin saw that. I know you're a warrior because you protect others. Look at the way you've helped me and Grum and Palom, and the way you've dealt with that big seabird. No beast but a warrior could have done that.
Gentle snoring sounds came from the mole and the hedgehog. Martin chuckled.
No good asking them. They're sound asleep like I should be. Us warriors need lots of sleep, you know. Good night, Rose.
Long after Martin had gone to sleep, Rose lay awake, thinking of her home in Noonvale.
Noonvale.
She said the name in a whisper to the star-strewn night. To her it meant peace, happiness, and security, filled as it was with family and friends. Noonvale, the secret place of the ancient northeastern forest. The young mousemaid closed her eyes and fell into a deep slumber, far from home. Noonvale. Dawn arrived, soft as a feather on air. Martin opened one eye and watched 2 ants trundling off with the tiny piece of bread that Rose had thrown at him. He lay still, thinking of Noonvale. He had talked with Rose the previous day. As they walked, she told him about her home, with Grum adding the occasional comment. The more Martin heard of the place, the more he liked it. Maybe someday he could live there, with Rose and her family, and Grum and Palom.
Come on, Sir Martin. You mo going to lie there all season?
Grum prodded Martin with his little ladle.
Now, what'll ye have for breakfast? I can make soup.
Rose sat up, rubbing her eyes.
No soup, Grum. We'll eat from the packs.
Martin stood and stretched.
Best not light a fire in strange country.
Grum wandered off, muttering to himself.
No fire. I do like my soup in the morning. Leastways, I'm not going without fresh water. I'll go and seek some out.
Rose smiled as she dug apple turnovers out of her pack.
He's a proper old grump some mornings. Should have been called Grump instead of Grum. Here, have one of these turnovers. He'll be back soon with fresh water. That's another thing he insists on most mornings. Even in winter, he'll sit out sucking icicles in the snow.
Palom, Martin, and Rose broke their fast with apple turnovers, some candied hazel and chestnuts, and the remains of the cordial from the canteen. They sat enjoying the quiet woodland as the sun warmed the morning. Palom kept some food out for Grum as he repacked their provisions. Rose stood up, looking around anxiously.
Where's that mole got to? He only went for water. I'll give him a shout.
No, don't raise your voice, Rose. If Grum can hear it, then so can others. Come on, we'll take a quiet walk and look for him. Martin could see that Rose was concerned for her friend. She kept shaking her head and murmuring under her breath.
He's never usually gone this long. Grum, silly beast. Where are you?
They were not far into the tall trees when Martin stopped. Pointing ahead, he leaned close and whispered.
See the twin paths. Beware of one sweet as is spreading atop of a scone. There they are, Rose. The twin paths. Look.
Two definite paths twisted and curved away through the tall tree trunks, one to the left, the other to the right.
Maybe Grum's gone down one. But which one?
Rose's voice sounded small in the huge, silent forest.
Neither, I hope. They both look pretty fearful. Maybe I best stay here and wait in case Grum shows up. You two can explore the paths. I'd only get in the way.
Rose could see that the hedgehog was afraid. She patted his prickles carefully.
Good idea, Palom. Come on, Martin.
They ventured a short way along the path that ran to the right. It wound and curved, but seemed safe enough. Martin shook his head.
Let's try the left path.
Creeping stealthily forward, they explored the left path. It seemed more tangled and overgrown than the other, and oppressively hot. Again Martin halted. He made a gesture toward his ear, indicating that Rose should listen. The mousemaid heard it right away. It was a thick, heavy humming, like nothing she had ever heard. Straining her ears, she caught a low, frightened whimper.
That's Grum.
Aye, and it's coming from around that bend. You stay here, Rose. Martin drew his small sword.
I'm coming with you. I couldn't stay here, Martin.
Rose caught on to his paw.
All right, but stay behind me, and try not to make any noise.
They inched forward carefully. The humming grew heavier, until it seemed to be part of the very air they breathed. There was an overpoweringly sweet smell everywhere. Martin brushed aside a wild dog rose, and they rounded the bend. It was a very strange scene that met their eyes. Bees! There were literally millions of the insects. They swarmed on shrubs, bushes, trees, and all over the ground. A fallen elm blocked the path completely, and gigantic hives stood everywhere along it. Old hives, new hives, half-built hives, and old broken ones. Honeycomb could be seen exposed in parts, thick, golden, and wax-seamed. Amber nectar dripped to the ground and onto the heavy fungus that grew around the fallen tree. With his back almost touching the trunk sat Grum, the small ladle held against his nose so that he could breathe. Rose stared wide-eyed. It was hard to distinguish Grum from the bees that swarmed on him. They were all over his furry body, from footpaws to ear-tips, covering him completely, and buzzing dangerously. Grum had his eyes tight shut. Every once in a while, he would make a small, frightened sound around the ladle that protected his nostrils.
Sit still, Grum,
Rose said in a husky whisper.
Don't cry. There's a good mole. Martin and I are here now.
Miss Rosa.
Grum's voice sounded muffled as he talked around the ladle.
Chat I down here. I sing and I. Not all at once, mind. Just when he feels like having some fun with I.
Rose kept her voice low.
I'm sorry you're being stung, Grum, but sit still, and we'll have you out of there soon.
Martin spoke out of the side of his mouth.
Rose, they've got us trapped now. There's as many behind us as there are in front, and they're blocking our way out. I've been stung on the footpaw, and they're beginning to swarm on me. You can't fight bees with a sword. Ouch!
Rose looked at Martin, then down at herself.
That's strange. Not a single bee has landed on me. Look!
She held her paw forth. Not a single insect tried to land on it. Martin blinked in surprise.
How do you do it? Ow!
Realization dawned on Rose suddenly.
Martin, Grum, don't speak. Don't say a single word. I've noticed that every time you speak, you get stung. Now the bees aren't stinging me, so it must be because they like the sound of my voice. I've got an idea. Listen, I'm going to start singing. If they like my voice when I speak, they're sure to like it if I sing gently. As soon as you feel that it's safe, then take my paws and we'll walk out of here. Or at least give it a try. Well, here goes. Let me sing a bit first.
Martin and Grum remained still, like two statues covered by masses of slowly moving bees. Rose began her song.
You will find me at Noonville on the side of a hill, when the summer is peaceful and high. There where streamlets meander, the valley is still, 'neath the blue of a calm, cloudless sky.
Right away, Martin noticed a difference in the behavior of the bees. The buzzing diminished to a low background hum, and the insects that were crawling over him ceased their activities.
It's working,
he whispered urgently to Rose.
Keep singing. I'm going to take your paw. Grum, can you hear me? Reach out for Rose's paw when she sings.
Rose continued, her voice like a warm breeze on a soft night.
Look for me at dawning, when the earth is asleep, till each dewdrop is kissed by the day. 'Neath the rowan and alder a vigil I'll keep, every moment that you are away.
Rose stretched her paws forth. Feeling Martin and Grum take them, she turned and began walking back down the path with a slow, measured pace. Martin and Grum trode carefully alongside the mousemaid. She continued singing, and as they went, the bees began dropping off and buzzing lazily back to their hives.
The old earth gently turns as the seasons change slowly. All the flowers and leaves born to wane. Hear my song o'er the lea, like the wind soft and lowly. Oh, please come back to Noonvale again.
Palom was waiting anxiously at the entrance to the path. At the sight of his friends returning, he did a small dance of joy, coupled with anxiety at the lumps and bumps raised by the bee stings.
There you are! Thank the seasons! Oh, look at you, Grum! All covered in swellings! What happened?
The mole smiled at his worried friend.
Oh, there'll be another story, Palom. Move aside so our sins can sit down and rest in weary bodies, huh?
The three travelers slumped against a spreading sycamore. Martin shook his head in amazement, burying his short sword point down in the loam.
Thank you, Rose. That was marvelous. Who needs a sword to defend us? That's the second time you've won a victory with your voice. First as a sea eagle, then as a singer. You know, the strange thing is that I hardly noticed the bees. All I could hear was your song. I could have listened to it forever.
Palom made poultices of dock leaves, nightshade, and mud.
Sit still now while I put these on your stings to cool them. Best thing in the world for stings. How's that? Oh, you don't know how good that feels.
Martin sighed gratefully as the fire died from the stings under Palam's ministrations. All we need now is another song from Rose. Grum spat away a bee sting that he had nipped out with his teeth.
Oh, yes, Miss Rosa be the nicest singer in all Noonvale. Her daddy and I watched many a time while she singing he birds out in trees.
Rose was all afluster. She jumped up and shouldered her pack.
It was only an old Noonvale song. Every young creature there can sing it as well as me. Come on, you two, or are you going to sit there all morning?
The mousemaids set off down the path at a lively pace, with Martin and Grum bringing up the rear as Palam pulled stings from them.
That's it, right there in the middle of my back. Ooh, that's better. Get that one on the side of Grum's neck.
Oh, go easy, Sir H-Speak. You murdered any little peskers that's put you on stingers there.
They made good progress that day, though the woodlands grew high and gloomy as they traversed it. It was noontide, yet the sun could hardly be glimpsed through the high, interwoven foliage canopy. Dim green light filtering down gave the path an eerie quality of unreality. Halting by a little brook, the four friends made a late lunch of apple scones, washed down with the cold, sparkling water. When they had finished, Grum and Palam sat dabbling their footpaws in the brook, grunting and making small noises of happiness as the babbling water gurgled over their paws. Martin and Rose sat behind them, nudging each other and stifling silent giggles as they watched the pair enjoy their paddle. "I see you! Beware!" Quick as a flash, Martin leaped up, drawing his sword at the sound of a booming voice in the half-lit forest. He held up a paw, cautioning his friends to silence. They waited a moment. Then the voice echoed out a second time. "Go back, small ones! Leave my path!"
Who are you?
Martin shouted then, surprised at how the forest echoed and magnified his voice. "I am the Meerdop." The spectral sound rumbled about the tree trunks. "I see all. None can pass me. Go back!"
We mean no harm,
Martin replied, keeping his voice friendly as possible.
We are only travelers trying to reach Noonvale.
Leaning aside, he whispered quickly to Rose.
Keep him talking. I'll try and find out where he is.
"Be still, all of you!" The voice rang out, hollow and angry. "For I am Meerdop, born in a storm at the night of winter's moon. I see all. I slay all." Placing her paws firmly together, Rose did a magnificent harsh grating voice which rang and echoed wildly.
"And I am Martin the Warrior! I have slain more than the hairs on your hide! I have defeated Ambolla and Badring! Let us pass!"
There was more silence. Then the voice called threateningly. "One warrior is not to a Meerdop. I will eat him up!" Rose resorted to her own natural voice as she answered.
There's more than one warrior here. There are 4. I am Rose, the deadliest slayer in Noonvale. I eat Meerdops for breakfast. What say you, Palam the Mighty?
Palam swelled until his stickles separated and shrieked out.
Yahoo! I am Palam the Mighty. I carry 1,000 swords. I too eat Meerdops, though generally as snacks. Stay clear of me and watch out for my friend, Grum the Growler.
What is a Grum the Growler? The mysterious Meerdop voice answered them. This time, Rose thought she caught a note of hesitation in it. The mole shuffled forward, brandishing his ladle.
I be Grum the Growler, a girt mighty beast. I make soup out of mere pods and sandwiches from they tails, oh sir.
I care not who you be. The Meerdop's voice sounded definitely unsure now. Go back or die. No beast passes the Meerdop.
Then they be alles the first time.
Stand aside or we'll go right over you.
Meerdop or no Meerdop, we're coming.
Stay back. Keep away. The Meerdot voice sounded strained and frantic now. "I fought foxes, battered badgers, whipped weasels, strangled stoots! Oh!"
Over here, friends! Hurry!
Martin's voice rang out loud and clear. From somewhere up in front of them came a crashing and the most dreadful, ear-splitting screams and yells. Rose grabbed a fallen branch and shook it fiercely.
The Meerdot must have got Martin! Come on! Charge!
The three travelers rushed forward along the path to where the horrible noises rose to a deafening intensity.